on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, President Buhari arrives New York for UN General Assembly meeting. Ngige urges striking doctors to go back to work while talks continue. Rivers man accuses police squad of illegal arrest and detention. On the foreign scene, U.S. flies Haitian migrants back home from border. I am Ifiemi Andrew. President Muhammadu Buhari is in the United States to participate in the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly. He was received by Nigeria's permanent representative to the United States, Professor Tijani Bande, and the Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema. President Buhari will address the Assembly during the general debates on Friday. President Buhari is expected back in the country on Sunday. Minister of Labour and Employment Dr. Chris Ngige is appealing to the striking National Association of Resident Doctors to return to work as the federal government continues to negotiate with the union to end the dispute. Ngige made the appeal during an interview on Channels TV Sunday Politics. The minister also reacted to the court case filed by the federal government against the striking doctors.
I saw where a young man was saying, oh, they have appealed, they asked their lawyers to appeal, do stay of execution, and the rest of them. I've been speaking with their lawyer, Femi Falana, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem to me that it's only Femi Falana that is doing this case. Because I spoke with him on Thursday before they went to court, and I know what we discussed, and I know what we agreed on. Only for them not to do so, received another advice from another lawyer. I told them no. I'd already discussed with Femi, and this is what we agreed on.
According to Ngige, it is only the Federal Ministry of Health and the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation that can withdraw the case from court. Recall that the striking resident doctors rejected the National Industrial Court's order to return to work, pending the determination of the substantive suit, vowing to appeal the order. The resident doctors' strike has lasted for 60 days. Meanwhile, Joint Health Sectors Union JOHASU and the Assembly of Healthcare Professional Associations AHPA has issued another fresh 15-day ultimatum to the federal government to meet their demands. The union gave the notice after an emergency meeting of the expanded National Executive Council on Thursday. The Middle Belt Forum has blamed the decay in the medical sector of the country for the death of former Deputy Governor of the CBN, Obadiah Mailafia. In a statement, National Publicity Secretary of the Forum, Dr. Isuwa Dogo, said the late Mailafia was poorly treated at the CBN hospital and said it took the intervention of management to attend to them after they were referred to another hospital. The statement also revealed that doctors at one of the hospitals didn't allow a foreign consultant come to their rescue. Dr. Dogo said the wife was made to deposit 600,000 naira before her husband was attended to. The Forum described the death of Obadiah Mailafia as a dark day and prayed for strength to bear the loss. After a few hours of treatment, a man, Endurance Moses of Owube community in Aoda West local government, is accusing men of Operation Sting of the Rivers State Police Command of assault and illegal arrest. He told our correspondent how he was arrested.
On the 1st of September, when Ajip invited me for a meeting at Ajip Clubhouse, GRA, at the entrance of the premises, I was arrested by police, Operation Sting. They took me to cell, and then they asked me to come out again. After my statement, they forced me to position for picture, and that is my first time to enter cell in my life. I'm 56 years old, and then they struggled and pulled my shirt, and then as we were struggling, they took photograph of me, and then take me back to the cell.
Mr. Moses said he was kept for 7 days without knowing his crime.
For the 7 days I was in the cell, they didn't allow any of my people to have access, no food, no water, and with the beating, torture that I received from them, I even begged them when they came around for paracetamol. They refused to give to me until on Sunday afternoon that they opened the cell for me to come out to see the Assistant Commissioner of Police, who interviewed me and find out that the reason they brought me to the station was issue of a contract where one chief, Brand Odigotu, was contending the contract with me in my own local government, Akoda West. And the contract is contending with me is a local content contract. At the end, he told me that I'll be granted bail. So on Tuesday, I was charged to court for kidnapping.
He said by the time he was released, he'd found that the police had sent the photos they forcefully took of him to Facebook.
When I came out on the 7th, my people told me that the picture they took, that they posted it in the social media, and they also tagged me as somebody sponsoring bunkering and facility sabotage to enrich myself, which is a pure lie. I've worked for AGIP since 2016 till now. And the communities that I've worked, nobody can come from this community to say that from 2016 till now that I'm involved in facility sabotage or bunkering operation. Nobody.
The River State Police PRO could not be reached to comment on the matter. In the meantime, his lawyer, Dr. Nelson Osubere, is asking for justice for his client.
He was invited for a meeting by Nigerian Ajib Oil Company, and in that meeting, in the premises of the meeting, he was arrested and taken to a police station. He was humiliated, beaten and tortured for 7 days. Justice should be done. Justice should not only be seen to be done, must be seen to have been done. The case should be properly investigated and let it be revealed to the whole world. Those who are responsible in destroying the facilities of Ajib, particularly in Ahoda West local government area.
He said his client's life is now being threatened.
Currently, there is a serious threat to the life of my client, not only to my client's family, and even his workers. As a lawyer, we have also petitioned the Inspector General of Police. We have also petitioned to the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State and all the military units, all the security units for proper investigation. In fact, the Inspector General of Police should do an intelligent investigation of this matter.
The lawyer, Nelson Osubere, called on the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company to wade into the matter to prevent a crisis.
Ajib has an arrangement in relation to local content contract, which is basically for indigenous contractor. Each of the areas are being shared. They are located to Abua, they are located to Oba, they are located to Ikwere. So the one for Ekpeye, particularly in Ahoda West, should be allowed for indigenous contractor from Ekpeye to handle the job. Because if they don't allow that, that will be more crisis they tend to cause, that they think they are preventing.
The chairman of Ubeta community in Ahoda West local government area, Frank Jack, has warned youths in the area to stop harassing contractors working on the NLNG gas pipeline and water projects in Ubeta. Addressing community youths, members of the CDC and chiefs on Friday, September 17, 2021 at Ubeta, Mr. Frank Jack said the integrity test carried out by the NLNG on the pipelines is to protect the people and their land from possible leaks and failures in the future and should not be sabotaged. He found that the attitude of some youths who collude with some persons to attack the water project in order to stop the reticulation and provision of potable water for the Ubeta people, warning that the long arm of the law will visit the saboteurs if they do not stop. He said that the unwarranted barricade of project sites causes avoidable loss of funds, unemployment, fear on the part of the workers, and delay in timely completion of projects. Mr. Frank Jack, who is a veteran journalist, called on all stakeholders in the area to ensure that projects sited in the area are secured and the workers protected. Responding, the youth president, Mr. Moses Newton Eda, and the elites of the community promised to protect the two projects till completion for the benefit of the people. Still ahead, a Saratoga local government area chairman restates ban of all royal activities pending determination of matters in court. Stay tuned. The chairman of Asaritori local government area, Onengiofori George, has restated the closure of the King Amakri and Daabi royal halls, as well as the ban of all royal activities pending the determination of the matters in court. Mr. George said the reminder is to maintain the existing peace and order in the area following full installation of the Amayanabo of Kalabari Kingdom on Saturday, September 18, 2021 by a faction of the Warren family that forcefully gained access to the already closed royal halls and connivance with some security agencies. The Asaritori Council boss also directed that status quo be maintained until the determination of the matters in court. Record that the chairman of Asaritori Council had on August 27, after a meeting between the Warren factions of Daabi Royal House, ordered that the King Amakri and Daabi Royal Halls be closed, pending the determination of the matters in court regarding the stool. A group, Kalabari Central Organization for Kalabaris in the UK and in diaspora, congratulating His Imperial Majesty King Karibo Abiboye Abi Oribo Abi Amakri XII on his emergence as the Amayanabo of Kalabari Kingdom. In a statement, leader of the group, Somiari Fred Horsfall, described the emergence of the Amayanabo as a pride for Kalabaris in the UK and around the world. The statement also commended the peaceful performance of the full traditional rites carried out by the Amayanabo, the sovereign, His Imperial Majesty, King Karibo Abiboye Abioribo Abi Amakri XII, describing it as the day all sons and daughters of Kalabari have been waiting for. The statement therefore called for unity among all Kalabaris at home and abroad, urging everyone to work with the Amayanabo for a better Kalabari land for all Kalabari sons and daughters. The group further stated that arrangements are on for a delegation from the Kalabari Central Organization in the United Kingdom to visit the king. An NGO, Ogoni Liberation Initiative, has launched its monthly international maiden edition magazine tagged Niger Delta Focus. Speaking at the launch in Port Harcourt over the weekend, President of the organization Douglas Fabeke said the magazine will create more opportunities and help to educate and enlighten the people of Ogoni land. Dr. Fabeke said the magazine is part of his contribution towards societal reformation and to achieving Kensara Wiwa's vision. He further said the publication will help create room for total freedom from all forms of marginalization and economic strangulations in the area.
It is time for total freedom. And one of the instruments that we use is information. I didn't dabble into a growing struggle just like that. We spent time studying what Kenneth was doing. And one of the information that I studied is in this book, The Ogoni Civil Disturbances, the full stories. I read it over and over. Even we are following in, I knew what this man wanted to do. Ken said one day that he just want to imagine a city that had been off of life. The focus of Ken Sawewa was to make Ogoni people benefit from their resources.
Some guests at the event commended Dr. Fabeke's courage in writing the 86-page purpose-driven magazine.
Whoever loves what is good will always be supportive to it. This magazine today is how to present Ogoni in the spotlight. We've been behind all this while. Ogoni, in the period of exams and other tests, have not been recognized. But by reason of this magazine today, so I'm so delighted. I'm happy over it.
I'm very happy for the Ogoni people, and I believe this magazine now will enlighten people concerning the Ogoni Liberation Initiative and what we are about to do.
It's a good initiative because, like the facilitator mentioned, one of the tools we use to reach people is information.
Earlier, the chairman of the occasion, Clement Uche, commended the people for their support and added that the magazine will help to document the success of the Ogoni people at large. The highlight of the event includes the presentation of the Award of Excellence to Dr. Douglas Fabeke by the National Union of Kana Students. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the incorporation of the NNPC. The president approved the appointment of the board and management of the NNPC Limited with effect from the date of incorporation of the company. Chairman of the board is Senator Ifiemi Agarume, while Mele Kolo-Kiari and Umar I. Ajia are Chief Executive Officer and Chief Financial Officers respectively. The leadership tussle in Ipman, Rivers State's chapter seems to be deepening as some police officers were said to have taken over their LMA office on Sunday. IPMAN chairman Dr. Joseph Obele called on security bosses to wade into the matter to avoid fuel scarcity.
The consistent interference of some officers of Nigerian police with claims to have the directive of a particular DIG Abuja, and by that they are now harassing and intimidating the authentic elected leadership of IPMAN in collaboration with some miscreants who are not even members of IPMAN, can no longer be accepted by us. We shall be left with no option than to withdraw our services as soon as possible if urgent intervention is not taken.
Videos shared with Nigeria Info showed policemen at the IPMAN office, and another showed a man in the IPMAN office compound saying, "We have taken over." In business, train transport in Port Harcourt is expected to resume this week. Recall that trains were out of service for the whole of last week after a train derailed due to a track that was vandalized. Spokesman of the Port Harcourt depot station, Samuel Adoyebi, spoke to correspondent Shebi Oruwari on Friday. Mr. Adoyebi, however, advised those who live near train tracks to help protect it against vandalism.
We are appealing to the communities, stakeholders within that community to please help in the management of the Nigerian Railway by extending their dead tackles towards that area, by putting their eagle's eyes at least in a close watch over that area so that you can have a better result. Since that Saturday, we have not been working because the team of engineers from the headquarters and the Port Harcourt, they have been there trying to reveal the affected locomotive and coach.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
The U.S. has started flying migrants out of a Texas border town that has seen an influx of mostly Haitian migrants over the past week. The Associated Press reports that 3 flights carrying 145 people each landed at Haiti's Port-au-Prince airport on Sunday. About 13,000 would-be immigrants have gathered under a bridge connecting Del Rio in Texas to Mexico's Ciudad Acuna. An emergency U.S. public health order known as Title 42 allows authorities to expel most migrants before they can claim asylum. On the news this morning, you heard that President Buhari is in New York for the UN General Assembly. Minister of Labour and Employment Dr. Chris Ngige is urging striking doctors to go back to work while talks continue. A man in Rivers State has accused the police of illegal arrest and detention. On the foreign scene, we told you that the U.S. is returning Haitian migrants home from its border. The news was edited by Enoho Ogbeveri. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Light showers expected in Port Harcourt this morning. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. Good morning, and thank you for your time.